I feel like artists are becoming more entitled, and I genuinely think that these artists forget that. Hey, you are not bigger than the program. While sure, sometimes I feel like it is warranted or justified to have a sense of entitlement, at the same time, like those rage-baiting street interviews, some of these entertainers take things way too far, which makes you, let's say, take a few steps back. Recently, Nigerian artist Burna Boy stopped his or paused his Denver show to kick out concert goers that were apparently sleeping in the front row. Now, I don't know who Burna Boy think he is, but my boy, that's way too much dip on your chip.
You got too much dip on your chip.
And more on Burna Boy in a bit. In this video, let's serve out humble pies to entitled artists, but also let's discuss the natural balance when audiences humble these entitled acts, turning them into flops on purpose. Why are some entertainers rewarded for not being humble while others aren't? And why it's kind of hard to be humble. I am Don, your pop culture boy. Let's get into it.
Catastrophic.
Before we get into the shenanigans, which is what you came for, you little rascals, let's first join hands and start with something
Got your 10.
philosophical. That's the Google accent, by the way. The psychological posturing of feeling entitled and being humble often goes hand in hand. Think about it, whenever one gets entitled on the public stage, almost immediately the personality trait of being humble is integrated into the conversation as a remedy of sorts, almost as if both traits are in a constant yin and yang system. And like the yin and yang concept, entitlement and being humble or humility need each other and are in this push and pull state perpetually. In short, it isn't necessarily a bad thing to be entitled. For example, it's completely fine to have a sense of entitlement if your rights are being infringed. It's only when the balance becomes imbalanced or illogical. Then there's a problem. And to be clear, being humble is seen as a good thing and is a good thing, but being too humble can also lead to scrutiny and possesses its set of consequences. With that being said, I think we should also discuss why artists, especially the major artists, gets entitled to the point of being called out for being an entitled ass. The most common talking points are it's their environment, meaning they are surrounded by yes men who constantly stroke their egos, which makes them feel like they are bigger than the program, or getting overhyped by their fandoms online. While all those points are true, I think they are only components of the root cause of the insanely high level of entitlement we see displayed by major artists, that being the commodification of self, turning one into an asset that needs to be placed in higher regard, because one is an entertainer, which is seen as special to the masses. Think about it, a lot of these artists are on strict regimens to look a certain way. For example, always being in shape or getting cosmetic surgery to keep up with beauty standards while in the public eye. In a sense, artists are like athletes where they can't afford for their bodies or parts of their bodies getting damaged because it will affect their careers tremendously. And they do this for the pleasure of the masses in the form of entertainment, which has been placed in high regard since the beginning of time. We've seen numerous famous singers publicly detail their vocal care routines or measures to keep their voices in tip-top shape. Take Ariana Grande, aka Ariana Grandisha, who's been called out for using a fake black scent, only for the aesthetics since 2016, the start of her Dangerous Woman era. I know you're probably wondering, where am I going with this? Stick around and find out. Now, as I said, Ariana has used a black scent since 2016. During this period of her career, she heavily relied on trap R&B beats. However, many started to notice her voice changing back to what society would consider a high-pitched white woman's voice. I want to say in 2024, around this time when she dropped her 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine, which featured a more sterile pop sound. Not a lot of seasonings, still R&B but more soul. The kind that is labeled labeled adult contemporary, the type of soul the industry will insert acts such as Adele, Celine Dion, or Ed Sheeran into, to keep them separate from black soul artists, low-key. Excuse me. Also, in 2024, Ariana started doing press runs for her movie Wicked, where she played Glenda, a white good witch. So when a clip of Ariana went viral on TikTok last year showing the singer changing her voice mid-dialogue, a lot of people took notice. At the start of the clip taken from an episode of Penn Badgley's Podcrushed podcast, Ari initially talks in a low voice to the main host, but when she turns to the co-host, Sophie Ansari, her pitch raises dramatically, which was pointed out immediately in the comment section.
The only thing I thought. That's how I felt. I was like, what has happened? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've been writing a lot and maybe there's some more, but I would like to do a deluxe at some point.
Ariana even took to the comments on TikTok, letting us know this is a part of her vocal health process, saying, "Habit, speaking like this for 2 years, and also vocal health. I intentionally change my voice placement high to low, often depending on how much singing I'm doing. I've always done this. Bye." Yeah. And if you have doubts about how vocal health for singers can be a catalyst for entitlement syndrome, with Ariana Grande as the example, look at it this way. If you're a singer and you cannot sing, you're not going to have a long career. It was at this moment the pop culture grandpa realized that J-Lo has a long career. Hence, this is why they take all these measures to keep their voices on point and to the point of obsession. Due to these stringent measures, which we see with Ariana Grande, who also is no stranger to being accused of being entitled or being a diva, especially when she had her big break in the early 10s, such as her licking and spitting on donuts. Remember that?
Fuck to and spit on that thing. You get me?
It's like really rude to me.
Employee Myra Solis, seen here on the video in a red shirt helping the girl believed to be Grande, says she helped the pop star pick out $5 worth of donuts on the night of July 4th.
And she was like, I just need a donut professional. I was just like, okay.
Moreover, her doing black scent, the high-pitched voice and the low voice, it's all, it's all a part of her regimen to stay relevant. All is done because she's priority in the music industry, to make millions of dollars for these companies, whilst also continuously committing to an image that fits the music she makes, which brings us back to being the reason why artists are so entitled over time, or gets entitled over time. It's like being in an exclusive club that provides you with secrets the public isn't privy to. With access to these secrets, praise from fans, and charting on Billboard. And I'm not trying to excuse this behavior, but who wouldn't become entitled over time? Celebrities have always been placed in the center of the world and seen as special. Now, I don't know who remembers this, but back in the 2000s, a lot of celebrities would insure their body parts, and the point of this is to safeguard their earnings potential if an injury or loss to that part impacts their career. But let's be real, it's also a publicity stunt to highlight their valuable features and generate media buzz. But the core rationale is practical risk management for high earners whose bodies are their brand. So us regular people, we're like, let's insure our houses, our car, our phones maybe. But celebrities are like, I need to insure my ass. I need to insure my toenail clippings, and I need to fart in a jar and sell it on eBay. Now the Burna Boy situation. Back in November at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado, a lady was kicked out of her concert along with her boyfriend by the artist that was performing at the show. The artist who kicked out the attendants was Nigerian artist Burna Boy. He kicked them out after he saw the lady was sleeping in the front row. When I stand up here and see you with your girl sleeping in front of me, it pisses me the fuck off. So please take her the fuck home fast, said Burna Boy to the people at his show. And you wanna know the messed up part about this? Some people cheered as the couple were escorted out the venue while Burna Boy told them to hurry up. Needless to say, this sparked a lot of outrage from people online who called out the artist for being way too arrogant and entitled. And I have to agree. Like, you can tell this is someone who has been gassed up way too much by the people around them. It's like he's been smelling his own shit, just basking in the ambience for a long ass time where it no longer smells like shit to him. But sorry to break it to you, it stinks. And it always has. According to hotnewhiphop.com, the woman at the center of the situation later spoke out saying she was deeply embarrassed. "I am the girl who was kicked out of the show," she wrote on social media. "That was humiliating for me and my boyfriend. Burna Boy could have handled the situation better. He had no idea what I was going through." She went on to explain that she has been mentally, physically, and emotionally drained following the death of her daughter's father, and revealed she had attended the concert hoping to feel some joy after everything that has happened. Now, he could have not said anything during the backlash. Let's be real, he doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't have to apologize, he doesn't have to respond. Would it be nice though? Sure. But does he have to? No. Instead, to show us that he's a horrible/entitled person, he doubled down. He posted this on his IG stories. "I understand the agenda against me, and I came to terms with it a long time ago, so my skin is bulletproof at this point. I wasn't gonna address this, but if you make the pilot uncomfortable on a plane you bought a ticket for, you will be deboarded or arrested as you land. You pay school fees, but you will be kicked out of class if you make it uncomfortable for the teacher to do his job. My shows have people who have beaten cancer or overcome something very serious, etc. And none of them have ever slept. LOL. I leave my soul on every stage I get on, even if it's only 10 people in attendance, and I will gladly be cancelled if we are now in a world where you can treat me like a stripper, slap my ass and tell me to keep dancing cause you throw $100 at me." Hey, this boy want to be cancelled. Now, I don't know why he wrote this bullshit. Maybe I'm stupid, but I need someone to explain how boarding a plane or going to college is the same as going to a fucking concert. The cognitive dissonance is crazy. The outlet Hot New Hip Hop also reported he was spotted on a live stream with his friends the evening after the show, joking about the situation. The chat was filled with people demanding a response. "Did I tell you all to be my fans? I am only looking for fans who have money this period," he said. He also posted this backhanded apology. "I sincerely apologize if I'm wrong. I am not always right, but I feel right about this. Anyway, I'm just human, so F me." Seems like there's a language barrier going on there. And granted, this is not the first time he had done something this magnitude. There are a multitude of videos online showing him having this, I don't know, icky or cringe reaction towards his fans. I don't know, he needs to change his name from Burna Boy to Weird Boy, or maybe Burna Boy is appropriate, seeing how he is always burning his fans. Now, since the incident, the artist has canceled 2 shows for, upon me recording this, unknown reasons, although social media is speculating it's due to poor ticket sales, with highlights that his upcoming dates are also largely unsold. I'm gonna be completely honest, it's hard to say if the tour is doing well, based on mixed reports I've seen online. With the Burna Boy situation taken into consideration, people getting angry and calling him out for being entitled, let's be clear, a lot of people did defend him and give him a pass for being entitled or downright rude to his audience. And it makes me question if we really want humble artists, as some of the most successful artists are not humble at all and are praised for it. This selectiveness, biases, or passes given out to entitled artists tells me that once you have, a large portion of society's trust or love, you can be as entitled as you want. And while I hate that, sometimes it makes sense. Let me explain. Rihanna is one of those artists who is entitled as hell, especially in the tens, as she could do no wrong. And if you disagree, you are lying. Rihanna has been so entitled, but is applauded and never gets called out for it because she's funny, down to earth, charismatic, and let's also not forget pretty. And because she makes them blood clot hits. Being bad, rude, or snappy was and still is her thing to this day. But back to why I think this happens, especially for Ree, has to do with the fact that when she was introduced to us, she was the complete opposite. She was shy and the sweet girl next door, which allowed us to grow with her, forming a parasocial attachment. So when she started to quote unquote acting up or displaying, big head behavior in the public, we all either turned a blind eye or supported her entitlement. I remember the situation where she was in a ride somewhere in Los Angeles and she was surrounded by paparazzi and fans, and someone asked her to say hi to someone that she knew, and she replied back, "Tell her your damn self," then proceeded to wind, her window up.
You so beautiful. I'm gonna see you later. No. You so nice. Look, this is what the world don't know of you.
Huh? Tell her your damn self.
You have a good Easter, Riri. Hey. You so nice.
Definitely a funny moment, and sure, he can say hi to that person, his damn self. And I also feel like that's me kind of rationalizing, and a lot of us rationalizing, especially as a funny moment, even though it's also kind of an embarrassing moment for the person. But people turned that moment into an iconic gif online and said she was a mood. But I bet you if Tyla did the same thing, y'all would say she is uppity and start a whole cancellation. And I'm not saying Rihanna should have been canceled, then not at all, or you should be mad at Rihanna, not at all. You can do what you want. You don't need to tell what you do. I'm just saying why Tyla can't be entitled, a little entitled, instead of all of this bullying, humble pies, humble sandwiches getting sent her way for just living. It's low-key unfair and xenophobic. Kanye West also comes to mind in this discussion of why artists are entitled to no surprise, but like Rihanna, Kanye was egged on and got away with a lot, but for him it was mainly due to, being entitled is a characteristic of being a rapper. It's expected for a rapper to be entitled, amongst other things. Like, people actually loved Kanye. Like when Kanye said that George Bush didn't like black people, people loved that. People liked that he was conscious. But anyway, it's mainly because he's a rapper. And this was mainly, mostly in the early days. Still happens today, but not as much. Because a lot of people, including the industry, has kind of turned on Kanye, has been turned off by Kanye because of his antics. Kanye has arrogantly demanded he be supported financially from the fashion industry due to his success as an artist and genius ideas, or that he deserves our attention because he has good taste. While he also cited racism in regards to not being accepted by certain fashion houses, he still continuously tried to beg for a seat at the fashion table, especially early when he just started his Yeezy venture with Adidas. Adidas being the same brand he boasted couldn't fire him during his anti-Semitic rants in 2022. And he said this in a now deleted episode of the Drink Champs podcast. In the episode, he said, "The thing about me and Adidas is I can literally say anti-Semitic-ish and they can't drop me. I can say anti-whatever things, and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Now what? Well, like a bad habit, Adidas did drop his ass days later.
And by the way, Mark Parker, yes, I will still accept an investment in Donda. I got some more ideas that don't involve shoes. But if you guys are investing in the arts, y'all want to invest in this school in Brazil, y'all want to go to Africa, I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. I've been doing this more than you.
There have been many artists who have been quote-unquote humbled by their audience for speaking out of line. While these phrases such as getting humbled or getting canceled can be misleading, this isn't the case for R&B singer Daniel Caesar. Now, if you don't know who he is, just Google the guy. Daniel had his big break in 2017. He makes pretty decent music overall and have garnered a few classic hits in modern R&B. The problem that a lot of people had with Daniel Caesar was the fact that he defended Yas Jules. Also, if you do not know who she is, just Google her. Anyway, to make a long story short, in 2019, after going on Instagram Live to defend Yas Jules, who has been accused of blackfishing, had made very disrespectful statements towards black women and shared posts that are disrespectful to the black community. Now, he didn't only defended her, but also went on this drunken rant about the perceived shortcomings of his black audience, regurgitating popular talking points like playing the victim and being a victim doesn't get you paid, etc. You know, coon shit. All in defense of her. He even went as far to boast that he was not afraid of getting canceled, which was where he fucked up.
And you can cancel me. I'm making music right now. I'll put it out. You guys don't have to listen to it. Cancel me.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Now, after backhanded apologies or sorries not sorries, Daniel Caesar made an appropriate apology in 2023 in an interview with Nadeska via Apple Music. Daniel said that he completely understood the backlash he faced for his comments. And in time, after taking time to get over myself and to really honestly look at myself and everything that was happening, I was wrong, he said. I was wrong. And I'm sorry about that. For a long time, I was like, you can't do anything. You can't say anything without whatever. You can do and say whatever you want. But it's like, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, he said. And that's physics. That's science. That's one of those things that the knowledge of that can literally put my mind at ease, where I'm like, oh, I did deserve what happened. Happened because I deserved it. Because I knocked the domino over and set a course in motion. I think this is one of the most notable and memorable servings of humble pies in internet history. Internet culture, because it led to a real life cancellation, not the type that only lives on forums in cyberspace. His career was really on the up and up, but after his comments defending an alleged racist and daring black people to cancel him, killed whatever motion he had. So much that to this day, even though he's had that hit with Justin Bieber and kind of had a successful, found success afterwards, people are still arguing if he's still canceled or not. For me, I think it's 50-50. I think a lot of people have moved on, and I think there's also a good chunk of people who are still holding him in contempt in their minds. Moral of the story: never dare black people to cancel you. Now, I know it can be exhilarating to humble others, and sometimes some of these artists and people in general deserve humble pies, but maybe we should also allow grace and give chances. We all have this power of humbling someone, especially as a collective unit online. But like I said, let's not get carried away where it becomes a sport to humble, which turns into everlasting cancellations, especially for those with redeeming qualities. Because if there is no room for redemption, then there is no need for anyone to become humble. I want to end this video by saying, being humble is not easy. Like Rihanna said in the outro of Kendrick Lamar's Loyalty, which is about being loyal and honest in relationships. It's hard to be humble. It's hard to be. Lord knows I'm trying. Lord knows I'm dying. Baby. What do you think? I am Don, your pop culture boy, and I will see you in the next one.